Hello and welcome to Step Up Nigeria's podcast. Our podcast is an initiative built to create awareness of governance issues that highlight the cost of corruption and its impact on service delivery. Our podcast is also aimed at promoting values that will help to build a society of people with integrity and provide solutions to service delivery challenges faced by everyday Nigerians. My name is Feranmi Adeola and I am the host of this podcast. Welcome. Our Step Up Nigeria rounds up the year 2021. We've had so many stories. It's been quite an eventful year for us. And though the COVID-19 pandemic from last year slowed down some of our operations, once restrictions eased in 2021, we hit the ground running and we've been able to hit and exceed our targets and expectations for the year. And we're so excited to be sharing some of those stories with you today. So we ask that you sit back and enjoy. On this podcast, we'll be doing a 2020 review and we'll be going through some of Nigeria's top highlights for the year 2021. And to join me on this podcast to do so, I have my colleagues here with me. I'd like to ask them to introduce themselves one after the other. So anyone can go first, please.
Good afternoon. My name is David Ainde, and I am the Senior Programs Associate for Step Up Nigeria. It's a pleased to be here.
Thank you, David.
Hi, I'm Vanessa MID. I'm the Junior Communications and Program Associate at Step Up Nigeria. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Halima, Junior Program Associate for FCT. It's good to be here for me.
Hello. My name is Martha Olale, and I'm the Junior Program Associate in Lagos team for Step Up Nigeria. It's good to be here and happy to see you, Feranmi.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Adenike Bamigbade. I'm the program manager and the Lagos State lead. It's good to be here. Thank you.
So yes, these are my colleagues. They've worked in Abuja, Lagos, and Kaduna states in implementing our anti-corruption education for social change project. And they have so many stories to share with you today. So I would go around, the virtual room and ask each of you, what would you say was like your key highlight, the most interesting thing, the most outstanding thing that happened in 2021 for Step Up Nigeria?
I'll say the key highlight for me was winning the award for the Halima's vote. I was quite excited for the award, and it was quite Halima's vote was when Halima's vote came out. It was quite it was a story that was really inspiring and touching. The songs in the movie, everything, and while applying for that for the award as well. It was a roller coaster. It's when you watch it touches you, especially the scene where the child died and when Halima took a stand, and it's really inspiring. And I was quite happy when we won the award. And I hope that when people that haven't watched the video get to watch it, and those that have watched it will try to take action like Halima and do the right thing. We're looking forward to the next election coming in 2023. So I'm hoping people will take cue from the movie and decided to stand against vote buying.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Halima. I think where Halima should have started from is we launched Halima's Votes, the animated movie in 2021. So last year we launched Emeka's Money, and this year we launched Halima's Votes, and it's a film about vote buying, as Halima has explained. And like she has said, the film is so impactful that it won the Africa Film for Impact Festival Best Movie on Accountability and Best Animation for 2021. So we're excited to have won those awards with our movie. And like Halima said, if you haven't watched it, head to Step Up TV as you're listening and watch Halima's Vote. So thank you, Halima. Anybody else want to go?
One major highlight I'll say one major highlight for Step Up this year is getting our Phase 2 funding from MacArthur. I'm sure that gave us so much boost in order to hit more line marks and all of the things. I'll say yes, that's one major highlight for us, and we would keep celebrating. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Okay. I would say that I'll probably just start from the story. Like when I joined in into Step Up early this year, it's basically, okay, we have storybooks and then we go to schools and then we engage students. But then there came in the monetary evaluation learning training where we learned about the randomized control trials. So when we were to have the real experiment in school, it was just like, okay, what are we basically doing? I really don't have much idea about it. But then going through it and then seeing the results was like, okay, so basically this thing is not just having storybooks. We're actually one way or the other having impact in these children through the use of our creative techniques, through the use of our storybooks, our animated films, and also the audio books. So I would say one of my key highlights was basically the randomized control trials in schools, and also I would say the partnership with some key stakeholders in the government sector, majorly in Lagos. It was really like, oh, to them coming for our programs and then telling us that you people are doing good things. So why are you excluding public schools? All the children need to. And then it was that partnership was really a good thing because it feels like, oh, when I see public school students around, I probably like, oh yes, we were not there yet, but then we will get to your school also. And every child in Lagos State and every other state we have are really one way or the other, directly or indirectly, going to be engaged with the use of our creative materials. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was a really key point that Martha mentioned because this year in Lagos State, the 4 anti-corruption storybooks that we use at Step Up Nigeria, Emeka's Money, Halima's Vote, Tosin's Story, and Answer Speech, all got approved by the Lagos State Curriculum Department to be used to teach primary school students in the state, which is an amazing win for us at Step Up Nigeria. Just to add at this point that even in Kaduna State as well, the Kaduna State Quality Assurance Office has also approved the storybook Tosin's Story for teaching in primary schools in Kaduna State as well. So, I mean, anti-corruption education is moving. I think that's one of the major wins for this year. And note that you can say more than one key highlight if there has been for you. So, Nike.
All right, thank you, Feranmi. And to continue what Martha said, or just to sum it up, I feel that this year was our opportunity to start harvesting. Let me put it that way, because in the previous years, it was as if we were planting and watering. So this time, it was just everything was just blooming. I'm not saying blooming in the terms of things that are looking beautiful. Of course, there's a lot of hard work that have been put into the work that we do, but the kind of results we're getting and the kind of acceptance actually show that all the works we've done in the past as giving us leverage for us to just explore. And I'm seeing anti-corruption education like just moving. So our partnership was well enhanced, and like Feranmi said, we got all our 4 books. For instance, in Lagos approved, in Kaduna as well, one of the books was approved. So this was the effort. So this was the result of what we planted in the previous years, and I'm just seeing with the number of things we've done this year, I'm so curious to see the results in the coming years, and for sure, our impact is really going to be great, and it's going to be it's going to be a big harvest. I mean, in terms of the numbers of the impact that we're going to be generating. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Nika. And Vanessa?
Okay. So mine would be Sherifat School. The virtual reality film, and it's about corruption in schools, in the education system. So I really liked how they highlighted the fact that if the funds for building up schools, if these funds are being misused, these students they won't be able to have the right education, the right access to tools that they will need to further their education. So I like the fact that the movie highlighted that, and then it also showed us if these funds were used in the right way, these are what like the students will achieve, like good schools, good buildings. They have the proper education materials. So yes, I really liked that Sherifat School did that. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I think I agree with you. And just like you pointed out, Sherifat School was released as a virtual reality documentary. And That was the first time Step Up Nigeria had even used such immersive technology and communicating anti-corruption education. And from the impact that we heard, from our experience with the public servants who watched the film at the launch, a lot of them said they were motivated to stop kickbacks and corruption in the education sector as a result of watching that movie. So I think it's a big win for us to have created a movie like that in virtual reality that is already changing the behaviors and mindsets of persons in the education sector. So that's great.
Thanks, Feranmi. So for me, one of the things that I really like about our work is the stories that emerge from the work that we do, because sometimes we can actually go out on the field, we can, engage thousands of children, but when you actually start seeing the stories come back, where you see the actions that these children are taking, these teachers you've worked with, these media personalities that we've worked with, then you start seeing, wait, what we're doing is actually changing something, and that's the point actually that I start getting excited. So one of the highlights for me this year were some of the stories that came out of our Anti-Corruption Star Awards. Last year, we had the first edition of the Anti-Corruption Star Awards. So this year, we had the second edition. And this year was a much better edition. Personally, I think this year was a much better edition. And the stories were so powerful. The stories were really powerful, from the young girl who stood up to someone who was stealing from her mother's shop, and who even though she was threatened that she would be beaten, still decided that she was going to take a stance. Because of our intervention, she decided she was not going to be bullied into not telling the truth, and she stood up and told the truth at personal risk to herself, right? Because sometimes when we talk about integrity and doing the right thing, it's very easy to do the right thing when there isn't a higher costs to doing the right thing. Like if you're doing the right thing and then, let's say, for instance, you see maybe a group of your friends are bullying someone, a younger person in school, and you tell them, you guys, you need to stop, etc., etc. And your friend, and you hold power, you hold influence among your community of friends, so they are, much more inclined to listen to you. There's no personal cost. There's no danger to you. There's no personal risk to yourself. But when you see stories of children, despite this risk, despite the challenges, being bullied, being threatened, refusing money, we have the story of people who have even gone ahead to, because most of our work is about preventing corruption. And you see stories like story of Zuera, who took this preemptive step to say, I don't want my friends to cheat, so I'm going to organize tutorials for them so that they understand what, some of those actions are amazing. And the story of Samuel from Lagos, who even his father, even his principal in his school knows not to do the wrong thing when Samuel is around. They know to behave better when a child is around. These are adults behaving better when a child. I thought those stories were fantastic, and I'm really excited that we are seeing the real impact. We're seeing, and this is embedded in the stories that we tell, because a lot of our work is around storytelling, and we're going to be able to tell amazing stories with all of this feedback from our community. So for me, yes, the Anti-Corruption Star Awards is a big highlight of the year for me.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Zainab. And thank you all. I'll still come around to you to discuss significant changes that we noticed in the year. But I also wanted to point out something else that I think was great for us and also a motivation booster. In this year, we finally, crossed the milestone of engaging 20,000 children with anti-corruption education. And so 20,000 Nigerian children have gotten anti-corruption education through storybooks, films, and classroom learning as a result of our direct or indirect engagements with teachers, with students, and with schools. And although 10,000 is a small number compared to the total number of children in Nigeria, it's just this idea of the little drops of water we're filling this ocean with. And eventually, we're raising champions in little communities all over Abuja, all over Kaduna, all over Lagos, Nasarawa, or all the states that we've been in. And like Zainab said, we're already seeing how they're inspiring other children and adults to take, actions against corruption and for integrity. So 20,000 children to the world, really, that's exciting for us. And I think it was also exciting this year that we celebrated World Anti-Corruption Day. I think we partnered with the ICPC to have a creativity challenge with children. And that was quite interesting, as well as we had a special film screening session, an anti-corruption speech giving at a village in Chikuku in Abuja. So, South Nigeria is always coming up with something new. And this year we're able to commemorate that day, with reaching other people. I would also say, it was significant that we had strengthen media partnerships. I have to mention Pineapple TV at this point. I think it was so great that Pineapple TV loved the movies, loved the storybooks, and have been freely airing anti-corruption content using our films and storybooks on Pineapple TV, which has over 3 million subscribers, So giving that many people access beyond even our own YouTube channel, Step Up TV, I think that was quite a good thing for us to have seen in the short while. So thank you all for your hard work and all that we've achieved. Just before we round up this podcast, what would you say has changed most significantly? So we know where we were in 2020, 2021 is about to end. What would you say as one of the most significant changes between then and now?
So for me, I think one of in our previous reflection sessions in Step Up and team conversations, one of the things we've always wanted to do is to deepen our relationship with schools. We realize that schools are intrinsic to the work that we do. Without schools, without teachers, without school owners, we will not be able to achieve the work that we do. The fact that they are willing to partner with us, open the doors to their school, participate in our teachers' training is part of the reason why we're able to count every year in, year out, high numbers of engagements with children. And I've always been I've always looked forward to deepening that relationship with schools beyond just coming into schools and engaging children or training teachers, having a more institutionalized partnership structure that we work with schools. And this year, we launched the Integrity Certification Program, which helps us to continue the work on a different level. We want schools to, not us always going to look for schools, but schools also coming to us as well. And even beyond our states of engagement, our focal states of engagement, the Integrity Certification Program opens up new doors, new possibilities where schools in other locales, in other states, can reach out to us who want to be a part of it. And then we have this structure where we can take them on board, review their submissions, and if they qualify, then they become part of, they get published and put on our website. I think there's a lot of possibilities for that program. I think it's also going to ease us into whatever it is that we want to do with parents in the new year, next year. And I just have, I'm really looking forward to how the program is going to shape up in the next coming months, or just everything that we're going to be able to do with schools, both our partner schools and even schools that we haven't worked with before. It does just open up, new possibilities for us at Step Up. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Zainab. David?
Okay, speaking about significant changes and following up from what Adenike said about our planting days and now being the harvest season, I would say our expansion to significant countries outside the country. I remember one of our book reading podcasts or IG lives that we had one time. We were able to register and pinpoint people from outside countries mentioning Ghana and then Sierra Leone. We also got the opportunity to even reach to students outside our Lagos, Abuja, and Kaduna states that we've mentioned. So that's one very significant change that I think we can leverage on and we can applaud ourselves for. And then going forward to expand towards more schools or more locations. Thank you.
Yeah, key point, David. It's good to be able to reach more people than our legs can take us, which we were able to do this year as well.
Okay, I would say one of the significant change for me in this 2021 is looking at January, where we started this 2021, looking at our staff strength, and then looking at us now. It has been a real good one, and then having, let me say, key roles, recruitment in the key roles has been a good turnaround for Step Up Nigeria in general.
Yeah, Martha, I agree so much. Thank you. Is there anybody else before? Okay, Nike, yes.
Okay, so for me, I would say that it's the recognition of the beneficiaries of our work. For instance, this year we've had opportunities where our beneficiaries were the one talking. So we had the Netochukwu presenting to the global audience in Transparency International and the Makato Global Family. And we had the amazing young chap in Kaduna that also did. So, and also, even we have also seen improvements in the leadership capacity and also in the general growth of these children. So they were once our young anti-corruption champions last year, and we can see that Stop Nigeria has gotten or is getting the recognition and the platform to showcase them and give them an opportunity to speak and hear their voice. I think that was an amazing one for me, and I look forward to more of that in the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nike. And I would agree with you all. A lot of what I'm hearing we achieved this year was, building partnerships and building capacity. So capacity, we train teachers, we train students. We also sensitize government officials through the virtual reality. And in that sense, what we did was build their capacity to tackle corruption for the children, for the teachers, and even for the government, the public servants as well. And so building their capacities has helped us to increase our reach of anti-corruption education because we've trained them and now they're training other people, which is quite exciting. And then we're also built so many partnerships, like we've all said throughout this podcast, our partnerships with government agencies stronger, our partnerships with people who work in the private institutions like AFED and NAPS. We've also strengthened that this year, and then strength partnership with media because we were actually on a couple of radio shows, for free this year as well. So it's been quite an exciting year for us. To wrap up, I'll call Vanessa immediately. Vanessa will give us her final point on what she thinks was significant change, and then she'll give you our social media information. And yeah, we'll end this podcast.
Okay, so I was going to mention the fact that we partner with more bookstores so we can get our books available, anybody can access it, so parents can get for their kids, people can buy and get to their nieces and nephews and cousins. Even my cousin was telling me today, I told him I was going to get him a book. So I'm going to get him one of our books. And I just like that people can access our books anywhere. So Robin Heights, different places. Yes, I'm really excited about that.
So thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for listening. And we hope that what we've achieved this year and the lessons that we're learning are inspiring for you to listen to. And we do hope in the coming year you join us in the fight against corruption. We are relaunching our Step Up membership next year. So if you do want to become a member of Step Up Nigeria, you can reach out to us even on social media now and join our membership program. So to follow us on social media, we are on Twitter and Instagram at step_up_Nigeria, on LinkedIn and Facebook at Step Up Nigeria, on YouTube at Step Up TV, and on all your podcasting platforms everywhere which you're currently listening to. So thank you again for joining us. For more information, visit stepupnigeria.org, and we're always there to answer your questions. Thank you, Nika. Thank you, David. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you, Halima. And thank you, Vanessa, for joining me.